All right, welcome to our podcast 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood. I'm your host, Big Sean.
And I'm your host, Grizz.
Awesome. On this episode, we're going to be talking today about tips and tricks while on the road out here. I know one of the first topics we want to talk about, Grizz. Thanks for coming up with this list, by the way. 'Cause, I mean, it's a pretty good
Yeah,
list that you came, so it helps out. But I know one of the biggest things that we need to talk about is staying connected. Uh, I know for me on the road, that was a big thing, staying connected with friends and family as much as possible. And it helps with your sanity out here on the road. I don't know about with you, but I know for me it made a
yeah,
big difference.
it definitely does. Yeah, just reaching out to your friends and family, talking throughout the day, just because being behind this wheel, it really gets to you. Just being by yourself in this box, it's literally what it is. It's a box with four windows, and it gets to you sometimes. So you really got to reach out and talk to friends and family about it.
Right. Exactly. And I know before I started the club, I mean, I would reach out to my wife and we'd stay on the phone sometimes 5, 6 hours, 7 hours on the phone. I know she'd get bored sometimes, but that's just how it worked. I mean,
Right.
she had to help me keep my sanity out here on the road. And sometimes I might have made her insane talking to her too much, but that's just, we get that truckers to rest sometimes. You know how it works.
Oh yeah. Yep. We know.
But definitely, I had friends that I would reach out to and talk to for hours upon hours, and then uh, I decided to start the club. I'm like, hey, I know these guys are getting tired of hearing me talk about trucking or different things like that. So that's one reason I started the club was to have another outlet for other people to talk to, and I
Yeah.
think it helps with our mentality, our mindset going down the road. You could have a bad day, then next thing you know, you jump into chats and bam, you're right back where you need to be, having a good day. Just you forget those miles.
Yep. Cracking
I
jokes
don't
and just having fun.
know. Exactly. I don't know how many times I've missed my exit that I was supposed to get off on because we're just too engulfed in the conversation. I'm like, oh, dang it. That went my exit. Just missed it.
Right.
Turn around. Cost you a lot of miles sometimes missing those daggum exits. But the next one I know that we're going to go into is trip planning. I'm going to let kind of Grizz explain a little bit about that, where that can help you while you're on the road, especially being new drivers out here. And I know we got new drivers out here listening to this podcast. And that's why we're trying to do this to give these guys different avenues to get help because there are a lot of drivers out there. Don't get me wrong, that don't want to give people help, but that's not
Right.
what BOH is about. So I'm gonna let you
Right.
kind of explain a little bit about the trip planning, how that could work in their favor.
Right. And with the trip planning, which it's definitely key in this industry, because it one wrong move and it could be the end of your career or anything like that. But you know, plan your routing. Don't always follow a GPS because that could really screw you up sometimes. Plan your stops, plan multiple stops just in case. If you really want to go to this one truck stop, plan a couple ahead of that just in case. And, if the first couple are full, and make it to that one and
Right.
then go from there.
Especially right now, the way the Midwest is getting hit with all the snow, and we
Oh
got
yeah.
guys out there right now on the road that's just in snow like 24/7. I know it's been like 4 and 5 degrees where they're at, and the snowplows can only do so much. And then some of the back roads you have to go on, the snowplows don't get to those back roads. You need to prepare yourself for that, and that's where trip planning comes in huge at. There's
Oh yeah.
so many apps out there that you can download now to check weather and different things to help you throughout your day, so you're not
Yeah.
getting caught in those nasty situations out there. Like I'm sure a lot of people, viewers out there, have seen some of the major wrecks that happened out there because people didn't trip plan properly.
Right.
So,
Exactly. And that's a big thing too is, you know, checking those weather apps for the future weather, like where you're going to be going, what the weather's going to be like just in case.
yep. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, every state out there has a 511 app that you can download. It's free. It tells you about the road closures, especially your main states like California has it, Nevada has it, Wyoming has it, Nebraska has it. So you can
Utah,
go to
yep,
your, yeah, they pretty much all have it. So you can go to your Play Store if you have a Android, or you go to an Apple Store if you have an Apple device and just type in 511 for the state that you're in, and they will come up and they're free, and it
yep,
costs you nothing to download those. So those
yep,
are a very, very great tool. I know me, I use one. I don't know about you, but I always use the Weather Channel one. I use that one for the radar stuff.
I like
And
using AccuWeather.
yeah, there's a few of them out there. I know I use that one a lot. And there was one that I used. It was called Windy for
Oh,
current
yeah.
wind. That's a great one. So because wind could be, you can't see the wind. Like you can see
Right.
snow, rain. You can't see the wind. So and that one was huge because you could pinpoint exactly where you are, and it would tell you the exact wind speed of where you are at that point in time. So I use that one a lot when I was on the road, especially going through like Nebraska, Wyoming, places like that where it's like
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
So I don't know any other apps that you've used personally, but I know that's some of the ones that I've used. Uh,
I do have quite a bit of the 511 apps on my phone just to keep track of the, road conditions and weather and stuff like that. Um, I use AccuWeather for my weather, and that's pretty much what I use.
yeah, and the good thing we have our family
I
page.
do have
You guys,
I right, right,
so
right.
we have our family page that people are always posting because we got guys all across the United States. So if you're a subscriber listening on here, jump on our family page. People are posting the weather reports on our family page where they're at. It could be Indiana, it could be Kentucky, it could be Texas. It don't matter. We got people posting everywhere about weather and stuff like that. So that's another tool. You could use our family page on Facebook and find out weather reports as well for the area that you might be going through.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
and I know that's one of the big keys that we like to use for that. I mean, there's so many apps and so many different ways to trip plan. Keep an atlas, a map in your truck because that will help you more than you know, especially when it comes to trip planning. Uh, so many ways to find truck stops, like you said earlier. Plan, especially during inclement weather like we have going on right now. The one truck stop you might be going to, want to go to, it might be completely full because people's like, well, I'm not driving this, and they want to shut down. So you might want to have 2 to 3 more prepared and getting ready to stop at that point in time. That way you can, if you got to go 10, 20 miles down the road a little farther, you can find some adequate parking.
Right, exactly. And keep an eye on your time, on your logbook and everything too, just in case, you run into some inclement weather. If you're getting low on hours, you can find those stops real quick and be like, okay, I'm almost out of time. I got to shut down here soon.
Exactly. We don't have to trip plan as much today like we used to because we do have GPS. We have our phones. I know when I first started, we had a map and that was it. And it would
Right,
come over our call comms back then was literally one line, and that's all it was. And they would send you routing, but they would just send you the interstate and the direction you had to go on it, comma, the next interstate and comma. So you had to write all this stuff down, and then you had to pull out the map and go through every single state so you knew exactly where you were going. You don't have to do that to this day and age. Some people still do. Don't get me wrong, but man, when I first started driving in 2000, we didn't have GPSs like that. We didn't have
right,
these nifty Qualcomms like they have nowadays that have the MapQuest and stuff, our maps built into it for you. MapQuest, that goes to show you how old I am. I don't even think they exist anymore. But, so there's just different things like that. Just use your resources. That's the biggest thing I can tell you, especially this
yeah,
time of year. Use your resources. Um,
right.
I know the next one we're going to go into. This is a pretty big one because I'm a bigger dude. I'm 6'4", 6'5". I weigh 350 pounds. I never rode with air ride in my seat. I don't know about you, but I just didn't like it bouncing up and down over the road. So but my legs would get tired going down the
Yeah,
road. I could feel them tightening up. So getting out and stretching, which is hard to tell a truck driver, especially someone like myself, because I would drive 7 hours straight nonstop
right,
because I don't like stopping unless I have to.
right.
Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know
just
how many
just
hours
sure.
you drive, but
Um, I do as much as I can, and then, I gotta stop. But,
right,
having Harley in the truck with me, I've gotta stop more often, which helps. So,
yeah.
but no, like, getting out and stretching and, walking around a little bit just to get that circulation back into your legs and the blood flow is just really key.
It'll wake you up too. People don't realize getting that blood flowing
Oh,
again,
yeah.
that'll get you re-energized, wake you up. Walk around your truck. I think it's what, 30 laps around your truck and trailer equals a mile. I mean,
I
just
think so.
walking around that. It's something simple like that. Get out, stretch your legs, walk in. Don't park at the front near the truck stop, even though we all do it. Sometimes park near the back, so you have to walk in and walk out to get the blood flowing. There's different things like that you can do on the road to help you. Um, you got to keep circulation flowing, though. I know with you, that's what I was going to bring up earlier. Is you have a dog in your truck, so you can't usually drive 6 7 hours without having to stop. At some
Right.
point, he's going to have to go to the bathroom. So
Right. He's getting a little bit better on, the longer stretches, but, I tend to stop quite a bit just so I make sure he can go to the bathroom and he doesn't have any accidents in the truck or anything like that. So which that does help because walking him, gets me moving.
yep, absolutely, most definitely. But like we said, for you new drivers out there, don't push yourself too far. Get out and stretch, especially if you're starting to feel a little tired. Get out and stretch a little bit. Walk around your truck. Take time. You have to take time to yourself. We're going to get in that here a little bit later. As being a truck driver, you just that's just something you have to do for your mental health. Uh,
Right.
I don't know if there's any more stuff you want to touch on the get out and stretch part, but I think I pretty much
Um,
covered it.
not really. I mean, honestly, that kinda leads into our next talking point. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
and, our next talking point really is, with what Sean was saying is, stop and get out and stretch and do that is with the newer drivers, you guys don't drive over your abilities. If the
Right.
weather's getting inclement and you don't feel safe, pull that truck over.
Exactly.
Don't ever push yourself. That load will get there
I
when it
can't,
gets there.
exactly. I can't tell you how many times I've seen drivers wreck or whatever because they're new. They've only been driving for 6 months. They haven't drove through a winter yet, but they're out there
Right,
trying to drive in a foot of snow and they've never done that before. Stop
right,
the truck. Period. Just stop it.
exactly.
That load is not that important.
Right,
Uh,
and that's you said you've been what? How long have you been on the road?
since 2000 when I first got my
2000.
CDL.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
so and I've been doing this for 16 years, and I'm at the point now that if the roads are getting kinda crappy, I'm not driving.
No, there's no point. Like I'm not gonna get a have I had to chain up before? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it something I'm gonna do just to get that load there faster? Absolutely not. If it's
No.
I get caught because I did bad trip planning and I had to pull over and chain, which sometimes I trip plan properly because it happened not too long ago, trip plan properly. We get to where we're gonna go, and the next thing you know, we get halfway up the mountain. Oh, boom, chain law in effect because they got a big storm just hit out of the blue, and now we got to chain. So you
Yeah,
do need to know how to chain for those instances because there's nowhere to turn around. You're stuck and you have to chain. You can't just park on the side of the road. They're not going to let you do that. They're going to make you put chains on. So
right,
be prepared. I mean, if you're new and you've never driven through this stuff over Donner or Cabbage or any of those places like that, Whitebird Mountain or whatever the case might be, don't do it. Just don't. It's not worth it. That load will get there when it gets there. I mean,
right,
it's just
exactly.
how it works. Uh, Inclement weather is huge, especially for new drivers, because they're like, "Oh, I can drive in this stuff." They want to be big and bad or whatnot, and I'm a truck driver. We can do this. Is what we do. No, that's the smart ones. Don't drive through that stuff. They pull over and say,
Right,
"The hell with it. I'm gonna take me a
right.
break and call it a night." You know. I mean, that little extra sleep goes a long way sometimes. Shut her down,
Oh,
make some dinner, go to bed,
yep,
get up in the morning, do
that
it again.
right, exactly, and that extra sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you feel refreshed, that mental clarity is just help it does wonders for the body. Sometimes
I
you
know
do your body needs that extra sleep.
mhm. When you're driving through snow or hard rain or fog or sleet or whatever, your body naturally tenses up when you're doing that. No matter how long you've been doing this, I don't care how long you've been doing it, your body's going to naturally tense up. So you're using more energy than you're used to using. So you're going to get tired faster. So if you start feeling that fatigue, man, don't try to push through it. Please just pull over, call it a day, stop. Whether it's now with the tech, with the stuff you can do now with the A2 split and stuff like that, we couldn't do that. Our clock continued rolling. With the A2
Right,
split, stop. I mean, it's not going to hurt you to stop for those few hours. It's really not. I mean,
right, exactly, it'll help you in the long run because it just, it gives the road crews time to get the roads cleared up a little bit or, you know, help you make that decision, "Hey, I'm gonna stay for the night and I'll try this again in the morning."
right, exactly. most definitely. I mean, we can't. That's kind of why we're still talking about this point a little bit because it's could be such a dangerous situation for someone. I don't care if you've been driving 20 years, or you've been driving 6 months. It could be dangerous for anyone because you never know when that black ice is going to pop up. You just don't have a clue. Slow down. If you're trying to creep onto the next truck stop, don't be going 50 like some of these guys do out there. Drop it to 25, throw your four ways on, and roll down the road. You don't.
Yep.
You'll get there. It's going to take you a little bit longer, but you'll get there.
Right.
You'll get there safely,
Yeah.
uh,
Most
and
definitely.
that's the key. And then I don't know if there's too much more we need to touch on that. This ain't going to be a very long episode, but we just wanted to kind of share some of our tips and tricks that we've done, that I've done over the 20 plus years, and Grizz has been
Right.
doing this for 16 plus years.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can always. I've learned stuff from guys that's been doing it for a year. You can always learn from people, man. Always,
Right.
and that's kind of
And one
going
of
to
the
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you're
But
good. Go.
one of the biggest things that I've always been told is if you think you know it all with this industry, it's time to hang the keys up because it's just
Absolutely.
I'm like with Sean and myself and many other, drivers out here, we're constantly learning something. This industry is constantly evolving and changing and you come across experiences that you've never had to deal with before.
Right. Exactly. And that kind of does lead us into our next point, what I was talking about, talking to other drivers. When you get out your truck, when you're on your 10-hour break, connect with fellow drivers on your resets and breaks and stuff like that. And that's where you'll pick up some stuff like no tomorrow. There's stuff out there that some of these old timers know that you're just like, wow. And I'm considered an old timer, but again, I'm still learning every day.
Right,
So,
exactly. And that's another thing too with connecting with other drivers and, getting out of the truck on your reset or your 10-hour break is like we said earlier in the episode is you're in this box for 14 plus hours a day and it's just you and your thoughts. And one of the biggest issues in this industry is drivers' mental health.
absolutely.
That's huge in this industry, and we've really gotta start, getting these drivers out of their trucks so that, "Hey, are you okay?" You know? That's one thing I do, when I see a driver in one of the truck stops or anything like that, and he doesn't look like he's in a very good mood, I'll ask him, "Hey, brother, you alright? You wanna talk about something?" Just
Yep.
get these guys out of their trucks, get out of your truck and connect with drivers and, you know, help get yourself, out of your thoughts. Because that's the
Right.
biggest thing in this industry is we just sit here and we start thinking and, we start worrying
Most
about,
definitely.
what bills are due or, what's going on at home or I can't be there to do this, you know, and that's the biggest thing in this industry, is just get out of
Right.
your truck.
Exactly. I know a lot of times I'm on the road sometimes. I don't talk to a lot of people, but sometimes I force myself to go and doing my laundry instead of going back and sitting in my truck. I'll sit in the restaurant or sit in the truck stop or whatnot just to try to create conversation with people, just like you said, to get my mind off of trucking, to get my
Right,
mind off of whatever thoughts I'm going through. So there's always uh, tips and tricks out there to change your day. And
right,
again, that's why BOH is around, man. That's why we're here. Is we opened up a whole another avenue to associate with other drivers. I
right,
think we did I think I had my secretary do an analysis on how many years of driving combined with the whole club. We're over 500 years of combined driving in the whole club. We got guys that's been doing it for 6 months all the way up to 40 years. So
right.
it's a very diverse club. So I mean, and they do everything from dry van to RGN to step deck, reefer, tanker, everything out there, pneumatics. We have someone that does it. I mean, so, and that's a great thing about the club. And we are in open enrollment right now. So if you guys want to go to our family page, and if this is something that does interest you and becoming a part of, go to BOH family, look for the post. I believe it's pinned at the top of the page for open enrollment, and then
Yeah,
comment on there with your handle, and someone will reach out to you and give you a little more in depth of the club of what it's like being part of BOH. Because we're trying to do big things out here, and we know we're small right now, but we will get bigger. And I love that Grizz came on board about a year ago now. He's been on board with us, and he was part of a different organization, not a trucking club, but a different thing. And he found us and came over here, and he saw what we were trying to do. We're trying to do big for truckers and their families,
Yeah.
and we do a lot of stuff for these guys. One thing that would help us out with our mission that we're trying to do, like right now, we have a fundraiser going for St. Christopher's Truckers Fund that we're going to be donating to. I think we're up to like $1,500 right now for donations to donate to them. And that's only came from our members. That has nothing to do with outside support. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that outside support. We are a 501c3. Uh, feel free to look us up, Brothers of the Highway TC. To see that we're legit. So we will be at the Mid American Truck Show. We have a booth there, and I think our booth is 37760. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm,
We'll be there
I'm
the
pretty sure.
27th. The 27th through the 29th. Come visit our booth. Come check us out. Uh, I know I'm talking a lot right now, but I'm trying to throw in some of this stuff, and this is kind of my avenue. We have supporter gear. Our gear, 100% of our sales goes back into the club, and it goes back to donations to different charities, helping our fellow members out and their families and different things like that. So we have our gear that we sell, T-shirts, cups, and different things like that we sell. And like I said, 100% of that money goes back into the club, and it gets put out into the different various communities across the United States. So you can find that on brothersofthehighway.com. So
Yep.
check us out on that for our gear on there. It's under, you can donate on the website as well. The donation link is up there, so you can go in there and donate. Whether it's $5, $100, whatever you're feeling comfortable with, we really appreciate it. The donations, and you guys will see we're going to be live at Matt's pretty much for 3 days, doing live videos like this, where we're going to present the St. Christopher's Truckers Fund, because I know they have a booth there. We're going to present them with a check for the amount that we raised. So our goal is to hit 5,000 between now and I think March 10th. I think is our cutoff for it. That way we can get the check prepared and all that fun stuff. But we're a little short. But the more we can get help from you guys, our followers out there, the better. I don't know if you have any closing remarks that you want to add in, Grizz. If you do, feel free. I've talked enough.
Yeah, no, just make sure to check us out. Obviously you're either listening to this or watching it. YouTube 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood. That's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
Yeah, sure. We're going to be having some more links that we're going to be putting up. Once we get this podcast really going the way we want it, there's going to be more stuff that we're going to be reaching out to try to get it on Apple and different things like that. But we're starting small right now. We get it. But
Right.
any help would help us, guys. We don't. I started this club back in 2021. We're coming up on our 4-year mark, and we've never reached out to our supporters for support in our mission statement. We've always done it from in house. And to get to the level we're trying to get to, we need help from you guys. We need that help. We got almost 10,000 followers on TikTok. We're at 2,300 on Facebook. So I know you guys are out there. I know you guys are listening. Please help the cause out. Again, you can see we're legit 501c3. So we always post when we donate the money. We're not posting it for clout. We're not posting it for attaboys. We're posting it just to let everybody know that has donated, that the money got donated to where it was supposed to go to. So, and that's just what we do with all the money. And I just want to clarify that that's what we try to do, is to be more upfront and transparent as possible that we can be. But again, if you're looking to get some gear, we got some cool T-shirts on there. We got sizes all the way from large, medium, I think, all the way up to 5XL. So for you big boys, because I'm a big boy, we got your size too. So don't worry, we got you covered. We got long. Well, we don't have the long sleeve for the supporter yet, but we have T-shirts. And like I said, we got the 30-ounce tumblers. We got 20-ounce tumblers that you can order, and we get those sent out to you. And 100% of the proceeds go back into the communities, and that's what we like to do. So again, like Grizz said, check us out on YouTube at 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood. You can find us on Spotify and iHeartRadio, and this will be up on our family page as well. Please
Yep.
like, subscribe, and share. Comment. Would love to see your guys' comments. Answer any questions you may have. Open enrollment for people that are listening. This is something this you're thinking this might be something you want to be a part of. Open enrollment is going. Find that on the BOH family page. Uh,
Yep.
and it's simple. Go to Facebook, open your Facebook up, go to search, BOH family. You can't miss us. We'll pop right up. I promise you. But that's about all I got, Grizz. I know I talked a lot. This went a little bit longer than we thought, but
Yeah.
we'll get you water.
And then
We'll keep talking some more.
right, exactly, exactly. Um, so this is actually this is gonna be like a little mini series that we're gonna be doing, and we're gonna be coming back next week, and we'll have a special guest with us that we're gonna go over some more tips and tricks on that episode as well. So make sure to check us out, check back next week and we'll have another episode up.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you. We're always going to sign off with the love and respect. That's how we're going to end the podcast. Love and respect, guys out there. Stay connected to that family. Stay safe. Do your trip planning. Get out and stretch. Big Shawn and Grizz, you guys have a great night.